Hi friends, and welcome to my little channel where I enjoy exploring and sharing my insights. And today I'm calling this meditation, You Can't Have What You Don't Have. And this is tricky business because we sometimes believe that if we visualize it and if we want it, it's as easy as fooling ourselves into creating it with our imagination. But I just don't see it working that way. So allow me to explain why you can't have what you don't have. Stick around. Saying that you can't have what you don't have is the same as saying you can't be what you are not. And everybody on the planet can visualize. Everybody can. And so we attempt this practice to visualize, and to imagine, and to manifest. And it doesn't seem to be working. Manifestation seems to be something you can tweak. So you need a little bit more of this. You need a little bit less affirmations and more embodiment. Or you don't believe. You don't believe. You got to get a little bit more belief underneath it. Then it'll work. Okay. Try journaling about it. Try doing this. Try writing it out, putting a vision board together. That's where you're going to really find the trick to having what you don't have. But to me, this is about a much more intimate discovery than anything else. I can visualize a number of things. I can visualize being female. I can visualize being fat. I can visualize being so rich, I don't even know what to do with my money. I can visualize being a professional basketball player. Imagine me in a basketball jersey, running up and down the court, playing for the Boston Celtics. I can visualize that. That's easy. I can also visualize myself playing for the New Orleans Saints. Be the quarterback. That sounds good. I'll visualize that. I can probably write a whole book about being the quarterback for the New Orleans Saints. I can tell people I'm the quarterback for the New Orleans Saints. I could lie about it. I can pretty much convince myself and delude myself into thinking that that's who I am. I can't even throw a football. But I can visualize that and really believe in it. And that's what people are trying to do when they seem to fail at manifesting I just don't have it. And it's a different verb. It's to be that we're after here. It's to recognize that the Spirit has already received it, and it is tied into your purpose. And your purpose is to discover meaningful work. Your assignment, what matches. When I was discerning my professional career, which was music, I did imagine myself being a pilot, an accountant, I imagined myself working in retail. But that didn't align with what I had already, which was a love for expressing myself through music. Well, I could have imagined all sorts of things. I could have imagined being a Wall Street tycoon, an attorney, a doctor, and I probably could have forced those things. But deep, deep down inside, I would have known myself to be a fraud. So, what is it that we have already? I was counseling someone who's going through an existential crisis, a former student, and he was saying, I want to write songs. And then he wants to perform. There is something deep inside that wants to be creative. Let's just say he wants to be a creative person, which I'm arguing we all are creative people. But you can't create what is not already created in you. So we got around to talking about how he couldn't accept this job offer because it had all the right perks and benefits, but it just didn't have the right inner core, the right resonant message. The work wasn't meaningful, but the perks were nice, the amenities, the fringe benefits. So I said, okay, well, if you are to be a creative person, what is inside you that needs to come out? So we got him around to saying, I want to write songs. So I said, hum a few bars. How does your song go? That was a completely foreign thing to him because he didn't have a song. Now, conversely, I have another friend who is a songwriter, a brilliant songwriter. And she writes songs like I Change Underwear. She has some amazing amount of songs, like, I don't know, I'm guessing 500 songs on her phone. The lyrics all written. She knows the music. She can play and sing them. They just come out of her like tweely tweet, tweely tweet, tweet, tweet comes out of the blue jay. So the blue jay sings because she has a song in her heart. The writer writes because he has or she has a poem or a story or something that needs to come out. Manifestation is coming out of the closet. Now, if you are not gay like me, and you've never experienced being honest with yourself, then you don't understand what coming out of the closet means. I could pretend to like women, and I could marry one and have all the outward signs, and I'd be miserable. And how many of us have visualized what doesn't match? And so you're empty inside. You've pursued wealth and money and status and all this stuff, and it doesn't match. It doesn't align with who you are. Maybe you are a person who lives simply. Maybe you're a tiny house dweller and you live in a damn mansion. Or maybe you are a mansion dweller and you live in a cardboard box. It's time to align with what you have already. And so the question is, how do we know ourselves? And see, that is the key that was on the above the door at the oracle in Delphi. Know thyself. When you know you're gay, you're gay. When you know you are wealthy, you are wealthy. And there's not a thing to point to that shows the evidence. Oh, I may be feminine. You may have seen me on the side of the road and on the sidewalk and say, well, he's as gay as a picnic basket. But there are a lot of straight acting homosexuals out there. We'd never know. You'd have to confess. You'd have to confess that you were rich. You'd have to confess that you were a sharer of insight. You'd have to confess that you were a musician. You'd have to confess that you were a songwriter. And how do we confess that we are a songwriter? We sing and write songs. How do we confess that we're the quarterback of the New Orleans Saints? We confess that we are a football player. And some people get in touch with themselves early in life, and others are busy visualizing, fantasizing, wanting what they can't or will never have, or wanting and never knowing what real expressive wanting is, from a sense where I got to get this out. I've got to write this. I've got to make this. I've got to do this. And you would do it on a desert island. You would give it away. You would confess it. You would express it. And expression means pressed out. Wayne Dyer used to always say, you can't get orange juice from a lemon by squeezing it. You're going to get lemon juice. So this pressed out sensation is your soul being expressed. And you can't help it. I can't help it that I'm a gay 50-year-old bald guy who has a YouTube channel and writes books and has a blog. I can't help that. That is a natural outflow of what I have. And it's all being revealed by coming out of the closet, by speaking it into existence. Yes, you do speak it into existence, but first it exists in you as you. And that's what it means to know thyself. And once you know thyself, you confess. You pony up. You come out. Coming out of the closet is not just for gaze. It's for everybody. Everybody must expose their truth. The question is, what is your truth? Are you really rich? Are you really successful? Are you really gay? Are you really a YouTuber? Are you really an investment person like Warren Buffett, all geeked out on it? Are you really a computer programmer and software engineer like Bill Gates, all geeked out on it? Are you really a baker, cooker, gardener, and domestic goddess like Martha Stewart? We cannot see what comes out of the closet until you recognize what's in the closet. What's there in you. Many people are trying to manifest outside of the closet. The appearance. But I want you to go behind closed doors and see if there's a song in there, a business in there, a book in there, a great creative enterprise in there. You know thyself. And you've asked thyself, who am I? And how do I demonstrate this in the world? Honestly, transparently, and effortlessly, and unapologetically, non-competitively, sincerely. So know thyself and know what thyself wants. And watch it manifest through you as it comes out of the closet, out and proud, humble and loving, truthful and honest. And it ain't some charade where you visualize. So no, you cannot have what you don't already have. And more intimately, you cannot be what you are not already. My name is Ryan. I hope you found these insights helpful, and if you have, please check out my blog, mymorningmotivator.com.